Hiya! Me again, back again. We are out today just in some local woodland, come for a bit of a walk and some fresh air just to get out of the house for a bit. It's really busy though, so clearly everyone's had the same idea. Yet again, it's kind of miserly, but nowhere near as bad as last weekend, obviously. So if you come with us, we're gonna have a nice hot steamy cup of coffee in the woods, hopefully set up a tarp if we can find a couple of trees that are good distance apart, getting a fly in the eye. Yeah, so come with us and it should be a really nice afternoon out. It's seriously so busy, there's so many people here. We're struggling to find anywhere to escape. Ruddy people, everywhere they are, everywhere. I'll show you where we are, because it is beautiful. And I will try not to fall over. Although, let's face it, that would make a great video. Me on my butt in the mud. These woodlands are normally, they're always kind of busy, but not quite this busy. The car park was heaving. You can normally just get completely lost in here and not see another soul, especially coming down the way we've come today. Not so much today. Quite the sound of peace and quiet that I was looking for, or the sound of people's kids screaming on a rope swing. Bless them, they're having a good time though. Good to be out. Ooh, she nearly went. Stop and just spin you around slowly. The colours, bracken, beautiful. We've come a little bit off the beaten track now. Just what we were trying to, or hoping to find, was a dead standing tree so that we could batten down some wood. Oh, she says ducking and diving. Yeah. So that we can get the Bushbox started. I've cheated and I have brought a little bit of kindling from home because we did wonder whether we would be able to find anything here. So at least I have got that. But this is more like, this is actually really quiet. The screaming stopped. Mostly the car noises have stopped. Oh, it's beautiful. And breathe. Okay, we found a little clearing here just away from the path, so it's a really great little spot to set up our tarp. So the first thing we need to do is just make some pegs to peg the back of the tarp down to the ground. So we found some just wood that's just lying here that feels fairly, it's not rotten anyway, so I'm just going to cut a couple of pegs out of this ready for our tarp, and I'm going to saw them at an angle so that we hopefully don't have to then cut them. But I have got a knife if I need to do that anyway. Okay, that was quite rotten. Okay, that should do. I might take one more, she says. Quite rotten. Hopefully they'll do the trick, but we'll have to wait and see. Well, we found this wood that's here. While it does, I mean, it barely needed cutting, to be honest. It is quite rotten, but it's going to be solid enough for us just to do some pegs. So I'm going to also we need a couple of toggles to tie out the tarp as well. So I'm just going to cut a couple of those off from here as well. She says, look, cut. All right, I'm going to snap them. All right, fine. So yeah, we just need a couple of toggles, so that when we do our prusik knots for the tarp, we can hold it nice and taut. So I think they'll do for that. Okay, so we've got our Army Basha tarp here, which we use when we're out in the woods because it's camo, so it's nice, makes it quite hard for people to see us. We always keep it in a dry bag so that if it's wet or muddy or anything, it's not going to get the rest of our kit wet. So I'm just going to attach our ridge line to one of the trees and then feed it through the tarp, and then I'll show you the other end as well. So let me do this end of the tarp of the ridge line first. We've already got one loop tied, a bowline or bowline attached onto the end of our ridge line. Like so. And then I'll get the tarp out. Unwind it all, it's a pain in the bum. We've already got 2 prusik knots tied on our ridge line, which we just leave on there all the time. I'll show you how they work in a minute. They're brilliant, very clever. End them a line. That one. And that one. And then we'll do it on this tree over here. So, don't call me a tree hugger for no reason. Stick in the eye as well. Right. Pull this up. As I can. Leaves stuck in the air. Certainly the wild look today. Okay. I just pull all of this over here. And then one, 2. And then what we tend to do, half the wood attached to me, is find a stick to use like a toggle and just put it in that little loop there, and then it can't accidentally come undone. It's quite handy. Right, so now we've got our tarp on here. We need a prusik knot either end, so I'm just going to have to feed that one along. Some bits attached to us, and then this one needs to go this end. Oh, shed falling in a hole, like so. And then that. So I've got a couple of sticks to use with our prusik knots. So how these work is they've already been all looped round, which is quite handy. It means I haven't got to remember how to do it. This is one knot I do remember how to do, which is weird because there's so many that I just don't. And I think, yeah, I think these might be, I don't know, just about all right. So put that one in there, and then this end, ducking and diving. Through there and through there, and they slide. Oh, not like that, they don't. She says, like so. There you go, you've got your tarp nice and taut, and then we're just going to peg it down to the ground at the back and get the kettle on. And there she blows. Oh. So, I'll show you, see these bow lines here? Not bow lines, cross sticks, honestly. So yeah, the stick there just stops them from coming undone, which is awesome. And then use the pegs that we made earlier just to peg the back down, either end and in the middle. And then yeah, we're just gonna, we collected a bag of, she says dry sticks, dry-ish maybe, sticks on our way in, and like I said, we have bought a few little bits of kindling from home just to make it easier really. So yeah, let's get that kettle on. I'm gasping. Okay, so when it's wet especially, it's really good to be able to find drier wood. Obviously nothing's going to be bone dry, but with hazel, which is easily recognisable because of these long, the long straight way that it grows, you can quite often find dead standing hazel. So they're completely dead, and they will obviously be a little bit drier because they're upright in the rain. So we've already had a look at these, and there's quite a few on here which we can, and they should just snap off. There, it's totally dead, but these will be really quite dry. So there's a couple on here which I'm just gonna take off. I mean, you can hear that. They wouldn't be doing that if they weren't dead. And it just yeah, it's not going to harm the tree in any way, but it just means that we have got some dead, dead and dry wood for our stove, which is awesome. So there is one bigger bit here, but I think I might see if I've got enough wood for the time being with this, because we don't need an awful lot just to boil some water, and obviously we don't want to take more than we need to. So I'm just going to see if this is enough and get that stove on. Okay, this is our Bushbox. If you watched our video or my video where I went to the beach and made a cuppa, then this is what I used then. This thing is awesome. So I just thought I'd show you it in a little bit more detail because I didn't really show you last time. So comes in, it's like a heavy duty cotton bag, which is brilliant because it stops everything from getting dirty, and it folds totally flat. This is the titanium one. Still weighs quite a bit though, to be fair. And then it all folds out, the bottom drops into place, it says, normally straight away. And then there's a grill that goes on top, and that's it. Awesome. And then you have these two extra little bits that once your fire's going, you put on top to rest your pot on. So cool. We found a rock which we were hoping might be big enough for the Bushbox to sit on, but it's not quite. So the ground is absolutely sodden today anyway, so I've just scraped to one side all the leaves and stuff, and we're going to get this bad boy going. Okay, so we went and we did get a slightly bigger piece of the hazel, which we've well, I think you've seen me sawing some of it up. I'm going to try splitting this piece to see if I can make a feather stick. It's something I've only tried at home before, but I'm going to give it a go. So the first thing I need to do is to batten it in half. So I've just found a piece of wood, a bit slimy, but hopefully it will work. She says. Just having to try and work with what I've got here, to be fair. Let's go the other way. Okay, that'll do. Split enough, and then I'll use my little knife to try and make a feather stick, and I'll show you what it looks like in a minute. It may not be pretty, but it's the first one that I've done out in the wild, having battened down some wood. So I'm going to try and see if I can light it with my fire still. It might not work, but hey, I'm giving it a go. Okay, I've made another feather stick. The last one, it kept almost catching and couldn't quite get it going. So I've made another one and I'll give it another go. If this doesn't work, I will be resorting to my trusty old birch bark. Almost. So annoying. So close. Oh. No, I think that's it. I think I'm going to give up there because I just need a cup of coffee. So I'm just going to resort to birch bark because at least I know I can get that going really easily. So I'm sorry, I'll have to practice that feather stick skill. Definitely. Yes. Well, these are going to burn, they're very damp. Hiya! Go home smelling of my favourite smell. almost boiling, so quick. See, hot and steamy in the woods. Okay, so we really enjoyed our time here today, just really relaxed and had a lovely hot steamy cup of coffee, and just enjoyed being in the woods and relaxing, which has been amazing. So thank you for coming with us, thank you for all the support, and look forward to seeing you all again on my next adventure. Thanks guys, see you later.